What's happening, folks? Back with another reaction, back with some Aha for the first time. And indeed, anytime I react to a group for the first time on my channel, just wanted to say hello to anyone who may have found this channel for the first time. Generally speaking, I do things a little different here than a lot of other reaction channels. I've been collecting music for a long time. I'm in my early 40s, I'm 41. And yeah, I collect a lot of CDs and vinyl and, you know, in the older days, mixtapes and so on. I have a large collection of physical music, including genres all across the board, from classical and sort of like folk music to techno and hardcore to punk rock and reggae, hip hop, ambient, down-tempo, you name it. I react to a lot of stuff on this channel, a lot of different playlists, so if you're interested in a lot of different kinds of music, or at least some of the things that I just said, feel free to check out the different playlists. But yeah, bottom line, I don't react to YouTube videos here. I got nothing against that. I know that's the way most reaction channels do it. Number one, I'm a bit more low-tech and DIY here, but secondarily, again, I try to celebrate physical media, so for the time being, I'm just reacting in this more sort of like intimate kind of old school way. There is a suggestion that maybe some people I know with more technological prowess than me will eventually enable me to sort of react picture in picture, but for now, this is the way I do it. Now, it's funny, this is with an asterisk in the sense that I actually don't have the first Aha album, Hunting High and Low, but I've been given access to Aha material by two different people. Shout out to Han Solo and to Philip. So yeah, I figured I wanted to start with their first album, and it's funny, I was thinking like, okay, so, you know, pretty much the only tune I know for sure is their massive hit, Take On Me, and I was thinking, okay, well, you know, I'm just going to go to the first album and start with the first song, and we'll just kind of go on a chronological journey through Aha's material. Well, wouldn't you know, the first song on their first album is Take On Me. So that's the one we're going to hear. I guess in a way it's a perfect starting point. It's a touchstone and an anchor that I do remember from my youth. I was born in 1980, so by the time you get to like 82 or 83, I'm old enough to kind of, you know, remember what I was hearing on the radio. And I've said this in other videos, but, you know, through my older sister and mom who were listening to like Depeche Mode and Erasure and some of those groups, I got into synth pop, and my older brother was listening to classical rock, my dad was listening to classical, so there was a lot of like musical influences when I was growing up. But I do remember certainly hearing Take On Me, and eventually, like in the 90s, I remember like seeing the video. So yeah, bottom line, that's the only tune I know of theirs for sure. Now, I knew they were not American. I didn't know they were Norwegian, so I was looking it up before this. Apparently they formed in Oslo in the early 80s, so that's an interesting detail for me that I didn't know. But yeah, with no further ado, let's get it. This is Aha, Take On Me, the first track on Hunting High and Low, their first album, 1985. Iconic. Like, the opening is just iconic. Also, that synth bass line is pretty damn iconic as well. As familiar as like the sun in the morning. Like you hear this melody and it's like, oh man, nostalgia, and like it's aesthetically good in the moment, but it's also, hey man, the 80s. The buoyant feel of the whole chorus, not just his voice, but the sonics too. It's like evaporative almost. I mean, not many people can hit that. Bass is real, like, electric and alive. I will never not be amazed by the vocals in this song. Hey. electric, vivacious 80s synth bass with these little melodic synth touches, as well as that kind of staccato, like almost xylophone style layer. It's aesthetically sound, and it's also for me as an 80s kid, like, oh my god. I like the way he vocalizes a bit before the measure break. He like slides into the measure. Noticing the bass, like the actual like bass, which begs the question, like, I won't step on that, but did they have both like synth bass and like a proper bass? I don't know their like band configuration. Imagine being able to sing like that. Oh, kind of like organ, electric style keys coming in at the end there. Maybe they were like in more of the song. They didn't really stand out until the end there. I've talked about it before. Not a huge fan of the fade out ending. It's ubiquitous in all types of music, all eras, but you know, and sometimes I think it works better than others, but sometimes I feel like, you know, the song's so great, like, maybe find a way to, like, you know, have a written ending more. But I don't blame that on any of the groups. I think that's more of like a label thing. In any case, yeah, that was really cool. You know, it is the song that I've always sort of remembered, and, you know, you hear over the years. I heard it as a single-digit kid in the 80s. As I mentioned, like, I didn't really start watching MTV or like music videos until I was like a young teen in the 90s, maybe like early 90s. But I definitely remember seeing that video. And fair to say, like, again, I don't react to videos here yet, although again, eventually I think that is part of the plan, and once I do that, it'll be cool, because then it's like I can re-go through some of these songs, but now in a different context. But yeah, even without reacting to the video now, you know, that's obviously one of the most iconic videos, and I think, like, it stands the test of time, maybe better than a lot of other videos from the 80s, and it's like a, you know, it's weird, it's like, it's not like a very clear, 100% like laid out narrative, but there is, you know, a visual narrative going on, and it's sort of compelling, you know, by the end, it's like, oh man, like, you know, they're actually gonna be with each other, or so it seems. Yeah, so eventually I'll come back for that. But yeah, that was a very cool opening, and I suppose it's perfect. It's the perfect touchstone to start an AHA journey with. Do let me know what you think of the tune. Once again, shout out to Han Solo and Philip. I appreciate the help as we go through this journey. Eventually, I plan on getting some of the AHA albums, especially if, you know, in the early phase of this deep dive, I really start enjoying it, then yeah, definitely I'll be getting the physical copies at some point. But for now, it's cool that I can start this journey without needing to do that yet. So yeah, shout out to you guys. Let me know what you think of the tune. I will see you next time. Peace.